And Shannon is in a blackout, even though Denver, Colorado is in a whiteout. It's so cool that
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
we
much
can actually
better.
see you.
We can see you now. We couldn't see you before. Whenever we can see that smiling, beautiful face, Shannon, it's better. Anytime, anywhere. Welcome to what I'm going to just call Butt Shit Cold Saturday here in Denver, Colorado. Because butt shit cold. It is -8 degrees. It was -2 when I took the dogs out the first time. And I like cold weather. I just don't like it when it gets to the negatives because I don't think that's a thing. I don't think it should be a thing. I don't think it is a thing. I think they're making it up. I really
You want to be more positive than that, don't you?
I do. I want to be, just tell me it's 0 degrees. So welcome to Super Wildcard Weekend. Kyle, I'm glad you're feeling better. And back, Shannon, I'm glad you're feeling better. Terry has COVID.
Oh, no.
I know. Hey, Ramon. Oh, my friggin' God. How are you? Ramon has been watching, but never commenting.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ramon.
Hello, Ramon.
We love you.
Ramon.
Am I lagging? Oh, my goodness.
No, you were never lagging, Shannon. You were the
On
least
my screen, I'm
of
lagging.
all. Are you?
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. That might mean your internet's going to go down in a minute, but that's okay. We're
Probably so. It's been acting a little funky this morning.
Well, it's cold, so it's it's all right. All right. So we're going to start off this really cold Saturday, Wildcard Saturday.
But cold Wildcard Saturday.
Hey, did Morant hurt his shoulder?
Yeah.
Torn labrum.
I think he's out for the year, isn't he?
Yeah, and then Bane, I think, twisted his ankle last night.
Holy crap.
So, shut it down, baby. Let's just...
Well, that's what you wanted last week, right?
Did you
I
don't know.
Mentally?
No.
Okay.
No. Not me.
All right. I think that's what you wanted last week. You said something about them.
I mean, it probably would have been best had we just called it.
Well, now you do. Now you are.
Let's hope so.
All right. So we're going to start with the best thing that we saw and the worst thing that we saw. And since Kyle wasn't here last week, we'll let Kyle start because Kyle always has interesting, eclectic.
I totally forgot to think about this. I'm so focused on the playoffs, and there were no playoff games yet. So
exactly. Do you want Shannon?
I actually wrote a list this week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Shannon, go and then.
You have a list.
By the time he gets through the list,
I have a list too. High five on lists.
You were both prepared.
Well, you know.
Okay. So the best thing this week.
Yeah.
So I've started watching something that honestly, GL, I think you would love because of your penchant for persons who are, oddballs, maybe on the spectrum a little bit, a little out there. We started watching Mr. Robot, which I realize is a little bit of an older show. But the reason we started watching is
Christian Slater, Mr. Robot?
Yes.
Okay.
And Rami Malek. Yep. The reason we watched it is some friends of ours, they watched it and they were like, honestly, it was wonderful. And they don't really watch a lot of new stuff or really watch anything that they haven't seen before because reasons. But we watched that movie, Leave the World Behind, which the same writer wrote that movie that wrote that show, Mr. Robot. Okay. And the movie is kind of if things were to go a certain way, that's what the movie is based on, from the Mr. Robot universe, I guess, or world.
Okay.
The movie was really enjoyable. Some people didn't like it, but I really thought it was fun in a sense. And it had Julia Roberts and Marhas.
Oh, okay. Now I know what
Ali. I can't remember.
Marshala.
Yeah. But the movie was fun. The show's been great. The music is awesome in it. And I think because of your, Monk and things of those lines, that you might like Mr. Robot.
I loved Mr. Robot.
Oh, you've seen it all?
I saw it when it started. I don't mind watching it again.
You don't have to. Maybe you just watch Leave the World Behind.
I think I am going to watch Leave the World Behind. I was going to watch it, and then it had so many, I was worried when something has, a lot of big name people that it's just, big name people. There's no substance behind it. And it had so many big name people that I was like, maybe not. But, yes, now I am. I'm all in.
Yeah. So that's the best thing for my week so far.
So far? Okay. I'll accept that. All right. Here it goes. The best thing for my week I have a list. So there's more than one best thing. And I've decided I'm going to do it a little different. First of all, you guys know how I feel about Stephen A. Smith, right? Like, he's not one of my favorite. However, this week he has a podcast that he does like
Mm-hmm. And he just goes the hell off on the podcast. It's so funny.
He went off on a guy whose name I can't even speak because he's so disgusting. And I was here for it. And now I'm going to watch like First Take because, well, I watched it yesterday, but it wasn't all that great. But anyway, I mean, Stephen A. Smith's podcast, and when he went off on JW, was like probably one of my top things of the week. Only because
cracked out.
You blacked out again? You're blacked out again. But as far as the
talking about Stephen A. Smith and Mr. JW that we don't want to talk about, is that the message he's trying to send?
I don't probably. And then as far as best things I saw, okay, I'm gonna shout out like Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts that I think people aren't paying enough attention to, because Instagram makes me happy. I don't know why. It just really does. And there are 2 Instagram accounts that I'm shouting out today. One is, okay, this might just be me, but accounts where they have little dogs and they talk in gangster voices. It's the most hilarious thing ever. And this one is called My Little Shih Tzu Ladies account on Instagram. And it's these little Shih Tzus, and they're like, the one does, this morning he was like, Dad, there's a monster under my bed. And the dad's like, no, there's not, go to bed. And he goes, not with the monster under my bed. And he goes, there's no monster under your bed. And he's like, you like the monster so much, you go to bed with them. And it's just like they continue on. And it's like little Shih Tzus. So on Instagram, check out My Little Shih Tzu Ladies. And also, this is a person I used to work with. Her name is Jamie, but her Instagram account is JMEJAMESY. And she has the most beautiful voice. It's like a combination of like country and soul a little bit. And she sings a cappella on her IG account. Well, sometimes she accompanies herself with a guitar, but it's, hey, Terry. Terry has COVID, people.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Terry, even though you're sick and you bought it into your husband, Lewis.
It wasn't that bad for me. Like it sucked for a few days, but like I didn't die. So you'll be fine, Terry. You'll make it through.
We're happy about, I think she may have had it for a while and she just now went to the doctor.
Okay.
I kept saying, are you sick? And she kept going, no, I'm not sick. And I'm like, you sound sick.
For me, it
sounds terrible.
The positive testing lasted for almost a full week.
Okay. And by just happenstance, the Tootsie Pop 6 is the Twitter account that you should listen to. And especially, so she's in the fantasy football world, but she blends the fantasy football world with the non-fantasy football world. So especially anyone who's watching who is trepidatious about playing fantasy football, and her posts.
Oh, Rachel. Yeah, I do follow her. Yeah, okay.
Her posts are extremely informative, yet non-technical, for lack of a better word. So on the platform formerly known as Twitter, follow the Tootsie Pop 6, because if you don't, you are so missing out and you're going to hate yourself in the morning. And I don't want that. I don't want you to hate yourself in the morning. So, and then on Instagram, dude, follow my little Shih Tzu ladies. They're awesome.
So wait,
okay.
I missed who Stephen A. went off on. Who did he go off on or about?
Jason Whitlock.
Oh. Okay.
You see, the thing is, I'm really not a big fan of Stephen A. Smith,
but
he is much better than Jason Whitlock. And like, my respect for Stephen A.
Smith
is
like
so low.
The lowest bar ever.
It's Stephen A. Smith, 60 feet of crap, the Oakland A's, then it's Jason Whitlock. I'm thinking Moneyball.
I'm surprised you didn't put Detroit or Minnesota in there.
Oh, the Lions are below Jason Whitlock.
Dude, that's such a low bar.
You know what?
Everyone is better than Jason Whitlock.
The Vikings, as much as I don't like the Vikings,
and if you
Vikings fans are worse than the team.
You. Yeah.
Lions fans don't bug me as much. The team itself just bugs me. But Vikings fans are awful. It's probably the second worst fan base in the NFL.
What's the first?
Cowboys fans.
Cowboys fans are pretty obnoxious for the amount of wins they've had. They are.
That's true.
They are, dude. I worked the Thanksgiving day at the bar where there were Cowboys fans and whoever they were playing, and it was, I'm like,
terrible.
Yeah, they were terrible, and they weren't even drunk because I stopped
Speaking
serving
of
them.
people we don't like, Skip Bayless, like back when they were on First Take together with Stephen A. Smith, that was just insufferable. But I remember one time they had D'Angelo Williams come on after his stint with the Steelers. He was great with the Steelers, and he said he is willing to play for 31 NFL teams, but he refuses to play for the Cowboys. And he went off on their fans and how, like, you know, they just commiserate in former playoff losses. There's always an excuse. They always blame someone else. And then I don't know if it was a bit, but Skip Bayless literally went and they did all the, like, in that same segment, talked about all the things that D'Angelo Williams hated Cowboys fans for. It's like that. There you go. You just proved his point.
Skip is a Cowboys fan.
I'm sorry, Rachel.
And he's insufferable.
So I should specify with Vikings fans, so after 2 weeks, they were 0-2. Alexander Mattison was doing awful. And there's a bunch of Vikings fans that sent him a bunch of racist messages on Instagram and Twitter. And it was just like, they went in on him. Like a bunch of them did. And it was just like, man, your entire fan base is tainted by that. Obviously not. I don't know if it might have only been a dozen people, but it's a dozen too many. But it showcases the worst of the fan base, right? And it's like, it's funny how they were all. Some of them are so stupid too. I mean, yeah, it's probably not a coincidence that racism and stupidity are together.
Hand in hand.
Pretty synonymous.
Yeah, synonymous. Thank you. But like they were like some of these fans were like, man, if Dalvin Cook was here, we'd be 2-0. Have you not seen Dalvin Cook this year? He's awful. The Jets even just got rid of him. The Ravens have him now. Who knows? Maybe he wins the Super Bowl with the Ravens. But
I think in general, the worst fans are fans. They're all pretty bad. Like we're all pretty
Toronto
bad.
Toronto fans are awful, and they ruin the rest of Canada for us.
I will say that there's places I would not want to play because of the places they are and the people that I think. What I know about the fan base, like Boston, I really wouldn't want to play in Boston. New York, like the tough part there would be like if you're the quarterback for the Giants, like you're kind of like you're under it, man. You're under the scope. That would be tough.
Or
and
the
then
Jets.
like Utah, yeah, or the Jets. Like Utah, no,
well,
not there. But yeah, fandom,
this, right? Like
fandom is hard, and fans are kind of terrible in general.
Okay.
But you're awesome, Rachel. You're not a bad fan.
Yeah, Rachel, you're an awesome fan. I think that, first, everyone who's listening needs to smash the like button because I don't think that's happening. And B, I think that it's gotten to a point where fans aren't, because of fantasy football and because of fantasy sports in general, they just think they know more than they do. You know what I mean? Like well,
I think I know way more than I do. That is true.
I don't know. You know a lot, though. You actually do.
I do, but I think I know even more than I do. So.
And I think I know nothing at all.
I'm in like the mid range of that. Like, it depends on who I'm talking to. Some people I'm like, yeah, I know a lot more than I do, and then some people I'm like, why am I talking to you? I know nothing.
I know that I don't know anything. So that's my starting point.
That's the people you have to watch out for.
Self-awareness is important. Congrats, Shannon. You're the most self-aware person ever.
I don't know anything. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm that self-aware. Who knows?
All right.
I'd have more anxiety if I was that self-aware.
Kyle, did you think of something that you saw or heard?
So I'm going to combine the best thing and the worst thing. The one thing I can think of is talk about sports fandom. I'm a Detroit Red Wings fan, and they played a West Coast trip in California. They played all 3 California teams. They won all 3, swept them. So 6 points from that trip, which is awesome. And I watched the Anaheim Ducks game, and it was a close game. Detroit won 3-2, and the winning goal came in the I think the final 2 minutes of the contest of the third period. So it could have gone to overtime easily, and Detroit made it happen. But the worst thing in that I saw all week was in that game too. The win was the best thing, but then the Red Wings captain Dylan Larkin, just for some reason, I don't know, because he seems like a great guy. Like he doesn't do a bunch of dirty hits, but for some reason, opposing players always target him for the dirty hits. And I think it happened in the second period.
Oh, no.
Cross-checked him in the lower back, and he had to leave for a little bit. I think he did come back, but like there was against the Ottawa Senators early in the year, he got like punched in the back of the head. He actually missed time from that.
Jesus.
So, like And the worst thing is none of these like dirty hits against him ever get suspended. And yet, like the one in Ottawa, David Perron went and he cross-checked not the player who punched him, but someone who was near him. He didn't, he was seeing red literally, and he just kind of went after someone. And he got suspended 6 games for that. But then, like, okay, cool, which is fair. You literally just went up to someone and cross-checked him in the face. Like, that probably should be suspended for that.
Yeah.
But the dude who punched Larkin in the back of the head, he gets nothing. And that, like, to me, like, it's unfortunate that like it just seems like there's no discipline that happens specifically with Dylan Larkin. So that's come on, NHL, what are you doing?
Yeah, wake up.
And then there was big news with the Ducks this week because they made a trade and there was a bunch of controversy there. So you can dive into that.
I have to mention that if you're watching on Twitter, we can't see your comments because
you see Twitter, it's funny because Jeff said that's been fixed and we can. So
why did someone tell me they were posting? But okay, never mind. I rescind
One thing is though, I will say for some reason I can't find the show's like the show handle's tweet for this episode. So like there's nothing to watch on Twitter. So that's why we can't see Twitter. Yeah, I know. I was looking because normally the Going for Two live account has it, but it's for some reason not doing that right now. So maybe something's wrong with Twitter or something's wrong with Restream right now.
So I just posted it.
We would be able to see your Twitter comments, but there's actually no Twitter video of it existing, so we can't because of that.
I just posted it again.
Toronto Dave.
What up, Toronto Dave? Okay, so I'm gonna do the worst thing then. The worst. Okay, let me preface this because I don't want Shannon yelling at me. I know comedy.
Why would I yell at you?
Not yell.
Yell with you.
With me. I know that comedy is subjective, right? I get that. Like, I love Ricky Gervais. Terry does not. Terry, my sister TV, does not like him. She doesn't think he's funny. I think he's hilarious most of the time. Armageddon wasn't that great, but it was okay. And it won the Golden Globes, which brings me to the worst thing. Joy Coy, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is, was so bad. He was such a bad host that I couldn't even watch the Golden Globes and all the pretty people that were there. I was so upset because every time he was so bad, and he had a Netflix.
He's a hack.
He has a Netflix special, so I turned on the special. I couldn't even get through 5 minutes. He's not funny, people. He's not funny. Like, I understand comedy is subjective. This guy was not funny. And the thing is, it's not even about everyone was up in arms about the Taylor Swift comment. I understood what he was saying. He wasn't like knocking Taylor Swift. He was knocking the NFL. She wasn't okay with it. But he was so, so bad. And the greatest thing happened out of that, like Emma, and there are so many Emmas that are so good. Emma Stone, is that the one that?
Yep.
She won for the role that she played, and she was backstage, and I guess they asked her what she thought, and she goes, he's an asshole. And that's all she said, and walked off. And you're thinking, this is a girl that you want as your best friend. Because she's like, yeah, I've known Taylor for 20 years. She's pretty cool. He is an asshole. And I'm like, he's just that bad. I couldn't even, I'm like, at what point do you, if you're a comedian and you realize that everything you're saying, or 90% of the things you're saying aren't working, at what point do you just stop and just start introducing guests?
At what point do you say, I'm not a comedian because I'm clearly not funny?
I suck, and I'm going to go just introduce the guests.
May I piggyback on this?
Yes, please do.
So he went lowest common denominator with the jokes. Like, it was just unbelievable. Like, all you really had to do was get on stage. And if you're going to talk about Barbie, all you really had to do was make jokes from the movie. Gangbusters. So easy to do. And then the thing that, like, the reason I say he's a hack is, like, I think at some point he's like, I only had 10 days to prepare or only had 2 weeks to prepare kind of thing. And I'm like, there's so many people in this world that have less time to prepare that are on more important things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not really an excuse to get up there and do so poorly.
And you decided to do it.
If we gave you 3 weeks, you would have came up with even worse jokes.
Yeah.
I have more time to come up with more bad material.
Stop making excuses. Stop.
And like this one wasn't like this one I saw, but like they focused more on like some other people. But Helen Mirren, and I think either Harrison Ford or I can't remember who's sitting next to him, but Helen Mirren at one point, she just like puts her head down, and I'm like, dude, like, could you imagine disappointing Helen Mirren? Holy fuck! Like, that's pretty terrible.
That is.
Yeah, he went lowest common denominator there. which was so dumb. It was just like so easy to like not fail at this.
I know.
It was so bad.
I mean,
I'll be honest. I don't think Chris Rock did a great job at the Academy Awards last year. Because I think part of the problem
is. I not watch the Academy Awards last. Chris Rock hosted the Academy Awards last year,
or 2 years ago. I can't even remember. Honestly, I don't watch any of this shit.
Okay. Yeah, nobody does. That's the thing is like nobody watches this. So like this kind of stuff is like the best thing for it.
Out who wins, and I'll see the winners. Like I'll just look at the winner poll and stuff. But like it's like the NFL Combine. I don't actually care to watch it. I just I do. The results.
Are you kidding me? Men in spandex? Come on now.
I mean, not my cup of tea. I don't even drink tea, so yeah, it is my cup of tea.
Your cup of tea. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I'll just say it seems like I think like maybe about a decade ago, these like roast specials started happening. And that was kind of hilarious, right? Like, okay, we could actually attack these famous celebrity people and stuff with them knowing that they're going to be attacked. And it's like, and those are actually funny. But I feel like what happened is the popularity of those made award show hosts decide that's how we're going to do award shows. And it becomes more roast sessions, which is the exact opposite of these award shows, which is to celebrate these people. So to me, it's I don't even want to just single out this host because I feel like basically every host of every award show for the past 5 years has done the exact same thing. They're all awful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I agree with Jesse. He most of his slams were at women that I saw. Like I said, I kept turning it off and kept turning it on, hoping that every time I turned it on, it would just be like a winner on stage and not him talking.
Have Amy Schumer host everything.
Oh, fuck no.
You almost kind of.
But it'd be just as much of a train wreck as all this stuff, but it'd be less sexist, right? So at least you get that.
I don't know, man. She's pretty sexist too.
My thinking on it is like you kind of want someone like a Robin Williams who just has tons of energy, right?
Right.
And can just go.
And like funny.
And who's funny. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like you kind of need that type. And again, I don't know that would make if Robin Williams did host it, he came back to life and hosted it, then I would be on. Yeah, then I'd be watching.
If he was dead and he hosted it, he would
just probably be better.
There's a corpse would probably be better than what's most recently.
But like you kind of need someone who's like that spastic high energy that's like not really going at people, but like he can play 5 different people in the matter of 30 seconds, right? Like that's kind of Robin Williams things. And so like you kind of, in my estimation, like you would need someone like that who, you know, like the producers would maybe hate it because it'd be like hard to rein someone like that in.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same point, you're not getting these fucking duds, or you're not getting Will Smith punching someone in the face, which like
Chris Rock.
Oh man.
Okay, that's what you're talking about. That was like.
Well, the thing, I don't think Chris Rock's funny. I'll just come out and say it. The show Everyone Hates Chris. I understand why everyone hates Chris because the dude is not funny.
See, I've never seen that show. I think that.
Oh, neither have I. I just know it exists. I don't want to watch anything Chris Rock does.
I think newer Chris Rock isn't funny. I think like vintage Chris Rock when he first started out, I think he was funny. But newer Chris Rock, like both him, Armageddon, and a couple. Missy just found her squeaky toy that I hid so well.
And yet she's not nearly as annoying as these award shows.
It's Joy Coy. They were both up in Armageddon. Ricky Gervais's Armageddon won. Chris Rock's show, I thought his stand-up, I thought it was okay. I mean, it didn't get funny until he talked about Will Smith hitting him on the Oscars. Like that was the best part of his show. But I mean, I just don't think like comedians are as funny as they used to be. I guess. I don't know.
Because even that joke he got punched for, he was making fun of Jada Pinkett Smith for a disease she has. Like to me, that's not comedy. That's just insulting somebody. So like, if Chris Rock is that what he was doing?
He was saying she was making G.I. Jane too because she was had a shaved head at the time.
Oh,
she has the same thing Josh Dobbs has. I can never
alopecia.
Yeah, alopecia. Thank you. So
I didn't know that.
To me, like that's not comedy. If you're just insulting someone for a disease they have, like that's not a joke. That's just being an asshole, right? So like, if Chris Rock, if you're saying the funniest thing of his special is him complaining that someone punched him because he attacked someone, sorry, you little whiny baby, but like you're not funny.
And I also heard that Chris Rock has the same thing that Brad Pitt has. Like you don't recognize people's faces. So if someone's coming at you angry, you don't know they're angry because you have no facial recognition in your system.
That's no excuse for making the joke, though. Like that's
that's an excuse for him not knowing that he was getting punched in the face.
Well, that's fine. I mean, Will Smith probably should have done that, but Chris Rock again.
No, he absolutely should not have done that. I will say there is either it's a Norm Macdonald or Doug Stanhope joke about making fun of someone with a disease, and I think they're making fun of themselves. It might be Doug Stanhope, and he's talking to his uncle or someone who has like liver cancer or something pretty atrocious, and he's like, "Yeah, I have a disease too. I'm an alcoholic. Sometimes I get really fucked up and take strange women home and get to know them biblically."
Biblically,
like, it's terrible. So sometimes making fun of certain diseases is pretty funny, in my opinion.
Well, it's your own disease,
like alcoholism. Yeah.
Well, it's like you have to be able to poke fun of yourself as much as you poke fun of
making fun of yourself. I'm okay with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. He just ruined the Golden Globes for me. Not that, and that's really sad because the only reason you watch the Golden Globes is because there's so many pretty people dressed so nicely at one table all together, and you're like, oh, there's whatever and whoever, and I'm like, I can't even enjoy that. I mean,
yeah.
I read somewhere that
watch it on mute.
Yeah, exactly. Except the guy that won for the Asian guy that won for what is not the bear? I can only think of the bear because that guy is so freaking hot, and he won too. But like he made a joke about and it was funnier than anything Joy Coy said the entire night, and he just like came up with it as he sat on stage, and I'm like, why is he doing this? And I read that
some people are just funny.
I read that a bunch of people said no. Like they asked a bunch of people to host, and they were like, "Nah, we're okay."
Because nobody really watches it anymore. Like that's the issue. Like the ratings
suck.
Yeah.
Well, it's going against Monday or Sunday Night Football too. So
yeah.
Why?
Let's touch on another bad thing real quick.
Okay.
It's gonna be something I harp on pretty consistently. Draymond saying it was all a little too much. Like he told Out of Silver, it's all a little too much. Come on, dude. It's all a little too much. Like having to be suspended and go see a therapist about, whatever, hitting people. I don't know. It's all a little too much. I need to retire. That's all I have to say. Like,
just retire.
Yeah.
Do it.
Come on,
Leave
dude.
us alone.
Come on, dude.
Yeah,
right.
You again.
Fuck, dude. That's just too. It's all. You punch somebody in the face. You kick people in the nuts while you're playing a game. It's all a little too much. Get the fuck out of here.
Ben Simmons look like a clean player compared to you. Like, you're doing bad.
Oh man.
Their shooting percentages are honestly identical, probably.
It's all a little too much. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
I saw some of the interview, and I saw him say, like, I guess someone asked him if he thought that he could rein himself in or stop doing it, and he's like, "Yeah, of course I can." Like, then why haven't you? What is wrong?
Because he's a fucking child.
No one will complain about these hosts, though. Gladys and Shannon are amazing. I don't know about me, but
you're great.
Yeah, you are.
The one thing I want to say is, does 12 games seem too light? Because I'm just thinking, Ja Morant just got suspended for like 40 games or whatever the heck it was. Like
for doing nothing illegal.
Nothing on the court. It has nothing to do with basketball. Shouldn't Draymond have got something like that for like just how much crap he's piled on? Shouldn't they have given him like a 40-game suspension? You sit out half the season. If it's all just a little too much for you, maybe you need to sit out half the season.
Wouldn't that be a little too much? More suspension? Jesus.
I don't know.
Gladys.
Yes. Don't.
I won't mention one of them then. But Saban retiring.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick too.
Okay.
I won't mention Monday night. But Saban and Bill
literally
Belichick
turned that
retiring.
game off at halftime because there was no way Washington was going to win that game. Like they were outplayed from the get-go, and it was
no
so
surprise.
sad.
Yeah.
But
Cowboys game?
No, the Michigan-Washington.
Oh, you're talking college football, right?
College football.
Because she does not like old Harbaugh.
Oh God.
Well, I just don't like that they cheated this year.
I don't like cheaters that get caught. Like that. I don't mind if you cheat if you're good at it, because everyone cheats somehow or another. If you're good at it, you don't get caught. If you keep getting caught, stop doing it because you are bad at it. And that is my problem with Harbaugh. He keeps getting caught.
Or are they good at because they won the championship?
Or they're really good at maybe cheating more than we know.
Honestly,
that game was it was in a competition.
To touch on the Saban thing, is this like, I imagine this is like God dying for some people.
God dying. I don't even know what that would be like.
I'm not kidding. Like,
Okay.
I'm like,
here's my whole problem.
I bet that's how it feels, honestly.
To who? To Alabama?
To Bama fans, yeah.
No, they're going to feel worse now they have a coach down there because he is not going to be happy. But here's the thing. Saban's quitting. Part of the reason he's quitting, Jamie, go Dog Pound.
Yeah, they play today.
Yeah, they do. Not that I'm rooting for them because I want Houston to win, but whatever. Part of the reason that Saban's quitting is because the NILS, right? I am so tired of these coaches and their fucking hypocrisy. They can go to whatever team they want, whoever's going to give them enough money, even after they have recruited these kids to play for them, they're going to go to another school. And now that the kids can go to a transfer portal or can get paid, it's not good because you can't keep up with it. If you can't keep up with recruiting kids for whatever reason, you need to go. I'm glad he's gone.
Well,
I know you hate him. It
seems like at some point, this is, it's a pretty encompassing job to be a college coach. It's 365 days a year, right? There really is no time off. Eventually, that's going to take a toll. At some point, he would want time off, and it seems like now is just the time where I saw a quote he was saying trying to recruit athletes, not even the NIL, but to convince them people want to come to Alabama to play for him. They want him as the coach, right? If he's not there, the appeal of Alabama is all gone because the idea is I want to be coached by the great, arguably the greatest college coach ever. I feel like that can help me get to the next level and be a better professional. And so it seems like now they've had maybe trouble recruiting players because those players want guarantees. Well, if I'm coming to Bama, I'm going to commit to 3 or 4 years with you, but I want to make sure you're there 3 years from now. I don't want to just come there for 1 year with you, you're gone, and then then I'll transfer and stuff. And it seems like he said it's been harder to be honest with them. So he's been lying to a bunch of players saying, oh yeah, I'll be there for 5 more years.
All the time.
And so it sounds like he's known for a little bit, actually, the last couple of years, that, okay, it's starting to hit the end. And I think he just decided this was the year.
Okay. Again, Saban too. Wasn't he at LSU when he was yeah, I'm going to be here forever, and then went to Alabama? He was at LSU?
He went LSU, Miami Dolphins, I think, and then Alabama. Is that right?
I think you're correct. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And if you have, why shouldn't the players who are giving you that freedom because of how they play, because of how well they play? Sure, you're scheming, but they're on the field. Why shouldn't they have the same latitude that you do? They're if they get hurt and they don't have an NILS, they're not insured. What's going to happen to them? What is going to happen to them? And I'm tired of him and the Clemson coach. It's is it all these guys that coach below the Mason-Dixon line are just fucking idiots and they're so old?
Their salaries are enormous,
ridiculous.
Right? If they get sick or they have to miss a game or something, they're unaffected financially.
The biggest idiot being Tommy Tuberville.
Oh my friggin' God. And then they send him to make laws and stuff. Yeah, let's do that because he's such a fucking idiot on the sideline. I think he should be in Congress. Oh my, I'm
Seems like he's qualified. If he's an idiot, it sounds like he's qualified.
He is qualified for our Congress.
At Saban's career, from 95 to 99, he was the head coach at Michigan State. Okay. And he did 5 years at LSU. He won a national title. And then, Shannon said, he was with the Dolphins for a couple seasons. I guess he was terrible. He only lasted 2 years. And then at Alabama for the last 17 years.
It's been a great run. He's incredible.
It was a great run.
Oh yeah. So he's got 7 national titles. I think that might be the most ever for a head coach.
And Alabama was not in a good spot for a very long time.
Right. I mean, and they're not going to be in a good spot.
Yeah, his first year, they were 2-6.
Ryan Clark, who is LSU, he's an LSU alum, went off. He was I guess.
Crap. And he turned it around immediately. They went from 2-6 to 12-2, and they never had less than 10 wins ever after that. So he just took 1 year. He
was saying how the Bama people are just going to hate life for the next 3 years because they're not going to have Saban. They're not going to have. He's 8 and 9. Ryan Clark.
Probably another 17 years before they find someone as good.
Well, I mean, I think the Washington coach is good. I just don't know if he's Bama good. I mean, it's a huge difference between Pac-12 and SEC. SEC is just a minor league for NFL, as far as I'm concerned, and they should get paid. So, Jamie, your question is ridiculous. First of all,
Missy and Jackie.
Yeah,
she names them all the time, Jamie.
How do they know who I am? Because I'm the one that feeds them and gives them treats.
Oh, your name. Okay. Okay. I misread that
Mom.
question.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
I'm mom.
You're
Mom.
woof woof.
I am mom. And when they see me, like, dogs are so smart, Jamie. Jamie, you need to get a dog for your kids. Why don't you have a dog anyway? Like, you're in Cleveland. You're the dog pound, Jamie.
I was going to say because Jamie is a dog.
Oh.
That's a valid point, too. All right, Pete Carroll.
Tell me I'm wrong, Jamie. I'm sorry if that insults you at all, but you're a Browns fan. I'd imagine
it's not wrong. You're not wrong.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people just gone now. Pete Carroll.
Yeah. I mean.
Vrabel, Belichick.
So my whole thing, here's the thing. I'm glad that Mayo is the coach there, and I'm glad they put it in that contract. But doesn't that open the door for other teams to skip the Rooney Rule by putting like a white guy having a contract saying I'm going to be in the succession, so I'm going to be the next head coach?
Were they only allowed to do it because he's black?
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
I was a little shocked too.
Like that was the teams do this more often. Exactly.
But is that also him being like, I'm a minority coach and like I'm gonna literally like put it in my contract these things because like if I don't, they're gonna have no incentive to do it.
To do it. I mean, but he's only been at New England, right? Like he played for New England. He's only coached at New England. But I mean, that was my first thought. Like that's just a door that.
Now I wonder.
Opens.
Because they talked about this like secret contract extension Belichick signed in the offseason. Was that part of that contract that Mayo had to be his successor? Like he would only take this extension if you promised, because he like I guess Bill feels like Gerard Mayo should be a head coach. And it's like if you're gonna move on from me or if I'm gonna leave, then I want to make sure it's him that's the coach. And I wonder is that how they were able to get away with it? Because it wasn't even in Mayo's contract; it was in Belichick's contract.
My understanding was too it wasn't ironclad. Like they thought about Vrabel once Vrabel was let go.
They could have got out of that.
They could have gotten out of that contract.
That contract aspect if they needed to. They could have just paid him out or something. And
yeah, but I mean, wait, it wasn't in Mayo. I thought it was in Mayo's contract.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Like, does it?
No, it was in Mayo's contract.
It was. But I wonder if like was it also in Belichick's contract, and that's how you can get away with doing this. I don't know. There's a lot of secrecy around these contracts that were signed this offseason.
But I'm glad he's there. I'm really sad that Pete. I'm not a huge Pete Carroll fan, but it boggles my mind that Pete Carroll doesn't have a job, but Matt Eberflus does.
Well, he does have a job. He's doing.
He doesn't have a job that he wants. He doesn't want to be an advisor. He wants to be a coach.
Well, do we know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said that.
Oh.
He said that. Okay. He said, I want to coach this
team. I was thinking, is it like Saban where, because he's so old, eventually he was going to retire. Like, eventually he's going to stop coaching. Is this how he can still influence a football team without being there, the day-to-day grind?
He still wants to coach.
Okay, well then, I'm shocked he'd accept the job then. Like, if he really wanted to, why not just force them to fire you and then you can go somewhere else, right? Like, it's like part of this, this president, football advisor, whatever he's doing, like, he's got to be willing to do it too, right? He had to say, yes, I will take this. So,
I mean, I guess you say yes until you see if someone else wants you to coach. It's either be out of a job completely or have a fallback. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah, but that's one thing too. Is like those guys are like in their 70s. I'm kind of like
72.
I mean, I don't know, because you hear the whole thing. Like a lot of coaches that age, like they stop coaching and they die. So like, I'll just keep coaching.
Well, I mean,
but Marble Mouth Lou Holtz made it for quite a while.
Yeah. To look at Pete Carroll, would you know that he's 72 years old? Like, to watch him on the sideline, you would not know that he's 72 years old.
Does coaching keep him young? Is that like
exactly
now like a year from now he's going to look old and decrepit because he isn't coaching?
Like, because he isn't coaching. Although, there's 7 openings. I'm pretty sure that.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like if he wanted to, he would have had one of those jobs, right? So, like, I think he wants to coach, but he also understands how much of a grind it really is. So maybe it's just like, hey, for 1 year, I'll take this advisor role. I'll see it from the front office perspective, and that'll give me, for my next head coaching job, more experience. Then I could totally be like, I want to be head coach and GM fully. Like, I've done both separately. And
I don't know. I mean, I think when I think of Pete Carroll, I think that his lifeblood is coaching. I think that being with, younger players being around younger players is what keeps him chewing that gum and running up and down the sidelines. I just, and granted, he is 72, but age is just a fucking number. Like, seriously. I mean, I think he could have gone 2 or 3 more years. And he's made the playoff last year with Geno Smith, and he almost made it this year had not someone, whoever won, kept them out of it, right? Like, it's not.
Go Green Bay.
Which Green Bay
would have happened last year, too, if Green Bay won against the Lions. So it's funny. It was the same situation with the same teams.
What's interesting about you saying that, being around the younger players, keeping you young kind of thing, is that, like, if you take coaches who are of a certain age and you take, like, our Senate and our Congress, like, they're all hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
And, like, it's kind of interesting because, like, they, like, look old. They're, like, they just kind of sit a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, they look a certain way versus the guys who, like, are older, who are coaching and, like, active and doing stuff or whatever, and around young persons or whatever. And, like, even Coach Pop, like, he's pretty on the right side of things in a lot of ways. And, like, evidently he, like, does classes and stuff for players on education, like educational classes about history. And it's very interesting to, like, see both sides of that. Sorry to make it about politics.
Yeah, but our Congress, I would say,
like people in Congress and Senate don't, like, retire soon enough. Maybe, they're in a bubble.
They're isolated. They're in a bubble. That's all. Like, if you can't tell someone the price of milk or the price of bread, or you think that $6.50 an hour is going to make someone have a living wage, then you have no idea. You're in a bubble. And, like, I would argue that none of these coaches are like all of these coaches know at least the cost of living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ew. That's disgusting. Well, maybe I just think having babies come out of my vagina is disgusting. So maybe that's where that came from. So
artificial. Did they come out of her vagina? Like, I'm not even sure.
Yeah, what's artificial? I don't understand.
Like, are the kids artificial? Is the birth artificial? Artificial insemination, I would imagine, but, like,
maybe artificial insemination. Why? Why would you do that? 70 years old? Like, see, that's different because you have to raise them. So
exactly.
when they're 20, you're going to be 90 years old. Although I have to admit that probably African women live to be like 130 because, they just do.
And other countries,
that voodoo.
They're very a lot better about,
stuff,
familial ties and
takes a village.
And it probably better healthcare for pregnant women than in the United States.
Well, we do have I think the highest mortality rate in pregnant women
which
in
is
the world.
So weird because we're supposed to be one of the more progressive states. Thanks, McConnell.
Whew.
When I lived in Kentucky, I waited on Mitch McConnell and his wife, and he never said a word. Like, she did all the ordering, she did all the talking, never opened his mouth except to eat. Like, I've never.
Didn't even say thank you.
No, God, no. No. I don't even know.
Did she say thank you?
I don't. Yeah, she probably did, because if she didn't, I would remember her poorly. But she probably said thank you. I went on Fuzzy Zeller too, and he has a mouth like a sailor. Like, he didn't really care who he was talking to. It was fuck this, fuck that. I love Fuzzy Zeller. Great tipper.
That's funny.
C-section. She had a C-section at 70?
Yeah, I'm sure you had to.
Why?
Yeah.
Her heart.
Yeah.
No, your heart couldn't take that. Pushing out 2 kids at 70.
There's a lot in this world I don't understand. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just chalk this up to another thing that doesn't make sense.
This seems like an internet thing that I don't know. I have to, like, look into. My mom told me don't believe everything you read on the internet, but my mom believes everything.
I am on the internet in this chat section and reading it. So.
That's good.
Can we talk about the cold real quick and how people are going to go sit in the cold to watch these games live? Like the Chiefs game this weekend.
I heard that they're giving tickets back. That it's not a sellout.
Oh, really?
Anymore. Yeah.
Wow.
This morning.
-7,
dude.
I don't know what it would take for me to get out in a situation like that and cheer for something. Like, it would take a lot.
I would.
Because you're paying tons of money to freeze your butt off.
Paying. Yeah. Not even if they paid me. I was reading up in Buffalo where they're asking people to bring their shovels to help shovel the snow. And they're paying them $20 an hour, but do they get to stay for the game? That was my question.
So. I think it's tonight, right? I think they're trying to get these people to shovel it tonight. I don't think that it comes with tickets. No, I think it's just $20 an hour. We'll feed you and like.
Now $20 an hour and a couple glizzies.
That's not a bad deal, to be honest. Like
if it's all the hot dogs I can eat and $20 an hour.
I might go. For that,
I might go shovel some snow.
Because I'm in Canada, I'm used to just always shoveling anyway, and no one paying me. So if someone actually pays me to shovel, like I would do that. I think that's a fair deal. Supposedly the Packers, it used to be $8 an hour and like food and stuff.
Chiefs are allowed fans to bring cardboard to stand on to stay warmer.
How is cardboard going?
I know it's -7 degrees
and a scarf, maybe.
I don't understand the cardboard.
I was watching the full press coverage live stream this morning, and Braden Holochek, the full press Chiefs managing editor, he was on, and he was talking about like he's going tonight and stuff, and he said he's been to some cold Chiefs games before, maybe not as cold as this one, but he says basically like once you get a bunch of people crammed in, it helps.
Yeah.
You do kind of help each other with body heat, and like if you're jumping around, moving and cheering and stuff, you can help keep yourself a little warm.
For sure.
If it's still windy as heck, though, that's still gonna.
Yeah, it's like
you wouldn't see anything on me. Like I would have everything covered, and I would just be.
You'd be Kenny from South Park.
Yeah, I'd have sunglasses on too, or safety goggles. I would put on safety goggles
at 8 p.m. at night. Doesn't matter.
Well, I'd put on safety goggles or something too. I'd be like, "You're not."
Yeah, you don't want
no
Brittany
part of
Mahomes throwing champagne on you after the victory.
I don't. I just.
I think
don't
she did
understand.
that once.
I mean, I love Steeler fan, love the cold weather, love people playing in it. I think when it gets to a certain degree, though, just don't play in like -7. I cannot imagine being hit even in full pads. Someone coming at me full force. -7 degrees. Are you kidding? How much does that hurt?
I couldn't imagine that in +7 though. So.
Yeah. So here's the hot versus cold. Like people are like, oh, I'd rather be cold than hot or hot than cold or whatever. The thing is like, and people are like, oh, well, I can always put on more. I'm like, no, that's not the thing. You're either hot or cold. Like it's not like you're in an environment.
Right.
I would rather be hot than cold. At some point, being cold is just painful. Like your hands hurt or your feet hurt or like someone, I don't know, you get hit. Yeah. It hurts. It hurts more. Like being hot is miserable. I don't want to be hot or cold. I want to be comfortable. But if I'm choose to be warm than cold.
For sure. I love the snow, but I hate the cold.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately you can't have one without the other, so you just gotta live with it.
I like the cold. I just don't. I mean.
Well, here you can be.
-7. Like, if you didn't tell me it's -7 and I went outside, I would probably be okay for like a few minutes, like, 10, 15, 20 minutes. But in my head, I'm thinking, this is really cold. Like, it literally takes me longer to put the dog's coats on than how long we're outside. Because we get out there and they both piss and then they're like, and we're back in. We are not having this. But I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, -21. -22. Damn, that is cold. Sorry, I'm just like, what is -7 in Celsius? So I actually know. Because to me, it's like, oh, -7, that's kind of cold. It might be snowing, but it's as long as it's above -10, you're fine. Oh, wait, no, that's Celsius. Let me see Fahrenheit. Oh, yeah, that is.
It's a little cold out there. Like, when we went out,
if there's any wind at all, it's going to feel like -30. That's going to be
freaking God.
Feel like blades.
That was when my first semester at Penn State. I'd come from Kentucky, where if it snowed like an inch, you didn't go to school. And at Penn State, I lived by the stadium, so you had to go across what they called parking lot 80, which was nothing on either side. I did not make a class during a snow day. My first trip across parking lot 80 in the snow, the wind, and I'm like, and why? Because I had a class all the way on the other side, and I'm like, I like the cold, but no, the wind. Yeah, the wind, and I honestly don't know how these guys are going to play. Like on all my DFS, I just pretty much faded that whole game because I'm like, they're going to get hit and they're not going to want to play anymore. Like, I'm sorry, the ball's probably going to feel like a stone if he throws it and you have to catch it. I can't even imagine the logistics.
Marquez Valdes-Scantling is going to catch it. He'll just drop it.
I do have him in one of my things, but I'm like, they're going to put in like Checo to run the ball and then MVS or someone that they haven't played a lot to like go catch it because that's all.
Yeah.
Are you doing DFS or different?
DFS, yeah. I don't. the logistics of it to me, I mean, I understand these guys are athletes. I understand they're getting paid a good shit ton of money to do this. But I'm sorry, -7, -1 with the win in Kansas City.
Sounds terrible.
Sounds like it's hell. Like,
yeah.
One of the guys was, Ryan Clark was like, because they were talking about Tua, who's from Hawaii, played in Alabama, like he's only played in like three cold games his whole life. And Ryan Clark was like, I don't care who you are. If you're cold, you're cold. If you're Tua, if you're someone who's played all your life in it, you're still the same cold. It's all hurts. It hurts. All you want to do is get off the field. You just want the game to be over.
Yeah.
The kickers. Oh my God. I can't. I don't even know if I'm going to watch the game. It's going to be so painful for me to watch them get hit.
Apparently, if you don't have Peacock in the States, you can't. I assume in Canada it's still going to be on TV because I don't think with their deal with.
Oh, the second game is only on Peacock?
Yeah, I think in the States it's not going to be on network television. So
I've got the cock. I'm not worried.
I have the cock too, but I mean, the first game's on both. Like the first game's on both NBC and Peacock. So the second game they're taking.
Yeah. You'll be able to watch the first game on TV, but I think if you don't have Peacock, you can't.
If you don't have a streamer, that sucks.
Now, I'm pretty sure in Canada they can't do that because again, Bell Media's exclusive deal with the NFL means they get every game on TV. So I think I'll still be able to watch it on TV. Anyone in Canada should be able to as well. But yeah, if you're in the States, apparently.
Wow.
You can also maybe illegally stream it somewhere for free, but I wonder if Peacock has everyone's talking about, I don't want to pay this, pay that. Pretty sure Peacock probably has like free trials.
Yeah, they do.
Do the free trial for this day, and there you go.
Why I have Peacock? I don't know why. Like Terry and I were talking about
this game. I guess you're not going to watch it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I hope you can stream it free on StreamFest. Look at Jamie. How we know Jamie would know that? Jamie,
I have Peacock for WWE.
Oh, it's WWE and Peacock a lot.
Which this month, the 26th, I believe. Let me confirm that date.
Okay.
The 27th is the Royal Rumble.
Is that the one we're betting on?
Is that King Charles fighting somebody? No.
King Charles?
Laughing with his giant ears.
Yeah, no. I almost want to touch about. I don't want to talk about this anymore. But the Epstein thing and and the royal family, whatever prince or uncle that was.
Wait, I'm a
bilingual French Canadian. Like it's in my blood to just hate the royal family anyway, and everything England. So
I thought we were betting or something on this Royal Rumble thing that you wanted to do.
We can.
Do you want to do that? Didn't you?
Yeah, we absolutely can. I said that it's something that we would do.
Oh my God.
That my friends and I would do. Did they fall over?
No, it's Jackie. He's not all there. He keeps shaking like dogs do, but he's shaking underneath the desk, so he keeps hitting the desk. And it doesn't faze him a bit. What are we betting? How does this work? Explain to me the logistics of it.
So, I mean, it would be better if we had a few more people, but basically the way it would work is we would get let's just say we had 5 people, so there's 30 entrants. So we'd all get 1 through so many numbers, right?
Oh,
and
so
each get
go ahead.
5, we'd each get 5 numbers. If we had 5 or 6 people, that would work best probably.
5 each over 30.
Yeah, we'd each get 5 numbers.
Okay.
So we'd pick numbers out of a hat.
Okay.
And then if your entrant wins, you win the whole pot. So let's say we all put in $5 or $10 or whatever.
So the numbers on when you're
which entrant comes in. So say you had 1, 16, 27, 29, and 30.
Okay.
Let's say those were your numbers. So if number 27 wins, then you win the entire
30
pot.
guys fighting in this?
Mm-hmm. And it starts with 2 people. Okay. And then every minute about
someone else comes
another entrant comes in. Yeah.
So in theory, at the end, 30 people could be in the Rumble, in the cage.
That's happened a couple times, but doesn't
usually someone gets knocked out. So in
theory,
you would want the people coming in last because the 2 people in there from the start have the longest chance of being knocked out.
Do they? Yes. How do they choose who goes in first? Is it by numbers or is it the one who's been in the WWE the shortest period of time?
I think it's lottery. It's it's part of the storyline. They're like, okay, these are going to be 1 and 2.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I just so you know, like every year there's a guy who sends me an email. He used to own Duffy's, the Irish bar up here, and I play in the World Series, the Super Bowl, and then the college, and I haven't won in so you guys probably want to play with me because I never even look at the numbers anymore. I'm just like, put me in number.
You haven't done wrestling yet. Maybe you're really good at it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like luck.
Well, especially if you're just taking the numbers out of a hat. If you were drafting the wrestlers, that would maybe be more skill.
Yeah, it's just like battle royale crazy. Okay, so I'm in. We'll do it. Shannon, you have to organize it though, because Jamie, are you in or out? Jamie, say in or out. Jesse, say in or out. Ramon, say in or out. T, say in or out. Toronto, Dave, say in or out. Tootsie, Pop, say in or out.
We would have to basically.
Hi.
I would have all the numbers in the hat, and then I would pull one out per person, basically.
Yeah, I'm never around when they I pick a spot, like it's either 3 or 13 because those are my numbers, or a number that isn't 3, or you can divide by 3, whatever. But I've never been there, even on drafts. Like one of my league's drafts, by pulling our names out, I trust people. Like if you're gonna cheat on something like that. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't cheat. I mean, there's no real cheating to it. It's just like
exactly.
pulling numbers, and then you don't know who's coming in or out anyway. So.
Okay, I'm in. You in, Kyle?
All right.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle. Sure. All right. That's 3.
We did a show.
Yeah.
I need to go if that's okay.
No, you can go. We're almost out. We can all go because I'm gonna take my dogs back outside. It's gonna take me 20 minutes to put their coats on. I know.
Do they have shoes too, or no?
Luckily, it won't take you
4
hours because that's what
they won't wear shoes, which is really weird to me because that's like the part that's going to get cold first, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna. I mean, what? Oh, other thing. They won't put shoes on. Like I put shoes on Jackie, and he's like 104 pounds, and he's like walking like this, and he's down the stairs like that. So I'm like, all right, shoes off.
It's so weird on my feet.
I know. What's happening?
I'm trying to feel all the cold.
So
apparently the dogs prefer to be cold than hot.
Yeah, my dogs are just weird. Shannon, we will see you next week. Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you feel better. I'm so glad you feel better.
Me too. Still coughing. I think I have long COVID. I don't know. Not a doctor.
Right. Just play one at home. Have a good time, and we will see you next week. Love you.
See you all. Love you. Bye.
Bye, Shannon. Jamie's in. Okay, so bye, Ramon. You have a great Saturday. Stay warm. Tell Mr. I said hi. Tell Mr. Kyle said hi. Tell Mr. Shannon said hi. Thank you for stopping in, Ramon. Thank you for joining in the chat. Let's talk a little bit while we have 4 minutes about the plays this Saturday. So we have Houston and Cleveland. Who do you have?
No kickers. That's why I wore the shirt. Cleveland's kickers out, and the Texans have had to play with Dario Gumbawale as the third-string running back kicking a field goal. So it felt like, kickers aren't going to matter.
Wait, really?
So, I mean,
I thought they got another kicker.
Well, and Carmi Fairbairn is back now. He's healthy now, so he's playing. But the Browns will have to bring in a backup kicker today. I was just seeing something on Twitter. Joe Flacco he's 4-0 or 5-0 on Wildcard Weekend. He's never lost a game Wildcard Weekend. With how good that defense is, Stroud's first playoff game.
Okay, let's first pump the brakes. That defense is good. They're not that great on the road. They give up 100 more yards on the road than they do at home. Myles Garrett, his playoff stats suck. For whatever reason. And he's not good on the road either.
He's on the Browns. Has he even made the playoffs? No, he hasn't.
But the 2 games he's played, he's had maybe 1 sack. But on the same token, I think that the Browns play man more than any, in the 8th most, and man is Stroud's kryptonite. So they're not that great. I think it's 100.
Because he's having tons of success when someo's getting open in his zone.
Yeah.
He's just hitting them.
Nico Collins is ridiculous.
And I do wonder, like, just the injuries, right? Like, if is Noah Brown playing or not? I think that'll be huge.
Noah Brown's still questionable. Robert Woods is
Yeah.
still questionable.
I don't think Robert Woods is going to matter that much. He seems like he's pretty over the hill now. But yeah, I think like because if all you have is Nico Collins' downfield threat, that'll easily make the defense allowed like to just focus on them.
Right.
Yeah, he practiced limited Thursday, but didn't practice the rest of the week.
I think the only way that Houston wins this game is their defense, because Flacco's going to throw at least 2 interceptions. Is their defense giving Houston a short field and Singletary and Schultz dump off passes? I think because there's no way that they're going to let Nico Collins burn them like Indy did.
If he's going to get a big game, it'll have to be like
short
tons of volume, short catches. Like they're not going to let him just 75 yards deep like the Colts did last
week. Oh my God, that was awesome too. And
to be fair, Stroud's been doing that with it's not just Collins. He's done that with Brown. He's done that with Tank Dell, right?
But they're not there.
Exactly. Like if Brown, it almost does come down. Like, as much as you wouldn't think Noah Brown would be such an impactful player, but if Noah Brown plays, I actually like the Texans' chances because they can't focus in on just Nico Collins. If they do, Noah Brown might be able to get open and for that big play. So yeah, I think if Noah Brown plays, I think Texans win. If he doesn't play, I think the Browns win. I think it does just come down to that.
Okay, that's fair. I think the second game, besides the cold, my problem is you can't play Waddle in DFS with a high ankle sprain in freezing weather. It's that's just not going to happen.
We still don't know if he's playing for sure.
Exactly. Mostert, his was knee, right? His was knee and ankle.
Yeah, no, for sure. It does feel like Tyreek and A-Chain would be the good options.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're the only options. Because even if you start Mostert, even if he starts Waddle, I don't see them making it through that whole game.
And the thing with Tua is I'd rather go with quarterbacks in the domes this week.
Yeah.
Just look at the Lions-Rams game, the Cowboys-Packers game, or even the Texans-Browns game. That's where I'd want to invest in a quarterback.
Exactly. And although, plus Mahomes hasn't really been the Mahomes that we're used to all season, and there's nothing to say. Like Vegas controlled him, and it was at Arrowhead, and the weather was okay. I don't see Jalen Ramsey and them allowing him to go off. Although I think, for whatever reason, I think Kelsey's going to have a good game. I think Pacheco and Kelsey are your 2 players in that game. Because otherwise, what else? Wait, what? The Steelers game is postponed till Monday? Are you lying? Ooh, we have a doubleheader on Monday. Come watch the 2-point conversion then for a doubleheader on Monday, if that's the truth. Because that would be awesome. Because of the snow, I guess. Is it like blizzard-like condition? I don't think they would postpone that.
Yeah, postponed. Oh, this is Ian Rappaport's tweeting this. This is Monday at 4:30 p.m.
Eastern time, I'm guessing.
Eastern.
Okay. Ooh, that gives TJ Watt a little more time to get better.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, wow, that's kind of crazy news.
I will be watching it, James, on 4:30. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Jamie and Kyle with the breaking news. Pittsburgh Steelers will not be playing tomorrow. They will be playing Monday. How does that affect my DFS? They will be playing Monday.
I mean, it would affect it if you're doing like Sunday only contests or stuff like that.
I think I was. I thought I was, but maybe not because I have the Texans defense.
Yeah, as long as you're doing Monday, like a Saturday to Monday, like full slate.
Maybe that's what I did.
At all.
But I didn't play any.
Oh,
it was Monday because I played with Rashad White. So yeah, I did have a Monday in there.
He's asking who watches football at 4:30 on a Monday. We will because there's a playoff game on.
I will be there. All right, everyone. Ramon, Jesse, Terry with COVID, Toronto, Dave, Tootsie Pop, Jamie. Thank you guys so much for watching. People who didn't join in on the chat, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. We need it. And as Kyle alluded to, we will be on, Kyle and I. Is Dan joining?
He might. He was gonna, if he got the day off work or not. He would.
Okay. And Dan, and maybe we can have a surprise appearance by Doc. The 2-point conversion will be on Monday.
I doubt it. I think Doc's working next week because I know I just had him on the Full Press Fantasy Pod this week because it was his week off. Yeah. So I imagine next week he will be working. So
damn it. Yeah. Okay, so you have Colin. What else more do you need? Seriously, to go over to Monday's game?
I mean, now I'm thinking like how this complicates the time. I guess we'll be there for the end of the Steelers-Bills game.
Yeah.
Go live at 7.
I can't. Yeah, we'll be there for the end of the Steelers-Bills game. Yeah, let's do that. And so we'll see you Monday, 5 o'clock my time, which is Mountain Time, 7 o'clock East Coast time, 7 o'clock East Coast time, 4 o'clock Pacific time, and
well, I wouldn't call where I live the East Coast, but yes, it's the Eastern time.
East time. Well, I call it East Coast time.
Well, to be fair, most of the states it is the East Coast, but like for Canada, we go a little further east, so it's not Eastern time.
Way east time.
Because there's Atlantic time, and then there's actually Newfoundland time. So there's actually 2 time zones further east than Eastern in Canada.
Wait.
I think that happens in the States.
When do we do nonsense drafts? I want to draft conspiracy theories.
After the Super Bowl?
Yeah, we do it start after the Super Bowl, James, and I will put conspiracy theories down as one of our drafts. So we're doing one-hit wonders now and conspiracy theories, which reminds me, anyone, you do not have to be part of the Going for Two plan. You do not have to be someone who is on podcasts. You do not even have to be someone who likes sports. After the Super Bowl, the No Particular Order podcast will start doing their mock drafts. That's us. We will start doing our mock drafts. If you have something you want to mock, so far we have, what did I say? We have
one-hit wonders.
One-hit wonders and conspiracy theories right now. Come on, we will mock them. And everyone, have a good Super Wildcard weekend. People in Colorado, please stay warm. Please don't go outside and get sick and whatever. Terry, I hope you feel better with your COVID. I can't talk to you on the phone because I'm afraid of getting COVID through the phone wave, so we'll talk later. And
funny, when I had it, I also didn't want to talk on the phone, not because I was afraid of giving it to people. I just didn't want to talk.
You didn't want to talk? Well, she likes talking.
That's why I wasn't on last weekend.
She loves talking on the phone. And don't forget, if you're on the platform formerly known as Twitter, you need to hook up and start following Tootsie Pop 6. If you're on Instagram, you need to follow JME, Jamesy, and my little Shih Tzu ladies because they're hilarious. And then if you are on, I will, Jesse, thank you so much. And if you are on YouTube, follow us, of course, hit our like, and then also follow Cassie. I will. It's my greatest fear is I go out and they see another dog and then I'm just like, we're in the snow on my back chasing the Rottweiler who is their nemesis. All right, you guys. I love you all. Jesse, Jamie, Terry, Ramon, Toronto, Dave, Tootsie Pop, and those who did not join in the chat. I love you too. Thank you, guys. We will see you next. Well, Colin, I'll see you Monday. Well, 3 of us will see you next Saturday.
2 days from now.